So you're going to the bone room.
Well, here is your chance to compare different kinds of animals side by side. And here are a few things for you to look up for to help you maximize your time there. Because just by looking at the skeleton, you can find out so much about the animal, like what it eats, how it moves, how much power or speed it has. Because technically, you're already halfway there. Animal skeletons are just variations of our own skeletons. And because it's the second semester, you already know the human skeleton. You already know the human skeleton. Basically, we have all the same setup with some variations and differences. We all have a skull, a rib cage, and a pelvis. Nature has made mistakes, but animals have evolved to do what they do very efficiently and effectively. And this is where form meets function.
So runners have evolved to run, swimmers have evolved to swim, and us two-legged walkie thingies have evolved to walk. Anatomy is all about stability, balance, and efficiency. So the more compact something is, the more stable and easier it is to control. And of course the opposite, when it's more spread out, it's harder to control and less stable. Like a metronome. Quadrupeds have a C-curve in their spine. This puts the center of gravity towards the middle, kind of like a table, and the legs just go straight down. When we evolved from quadrupeds to bipeds, all this upper torso weight had to be redistributed and balanced out somehow. So our spines have an S-curve to keep the upper body over the pelvis. Our femurs are also angled towards the middle to get our knees and feet near the center so we don't wobble all over the place and break our faces. Next, the pelvis. So ours is short and wide, which helps to balance out our torso over our pelvis and keep the torso close to the center. Yeah, a bit of a running theme, everything, keep it close in center, whatever. A quadruped's pelvis, however, is going to be long and narrow. These long iliac blades let powerful muscles attach to the upper torso to help stabilize and maintain this horizontal position. But then notice the distance between the torso and the pelvis, which means quadrupeds have less freedom of motion in the upper body compared to us. But this means their stride can potentially be their entire body. Ours is just our legs, because the fastest way to tell the difference between a carnivore and an herbivore is teeth. You got T-Rex teeth, you are carnivore. Sharp hooks spaced out, they're weapons of mass destruction. You got our teeth with those wimpy cusps, you're a herbivore or an omnivore. And by the way, that the T-Rex style carnivore teeth, they're spaced out, so flossing is not an issue, which makes that scene of Scar picking his teeth in The Lion King highly inaccurate. Like, shame on you, Disney. Saw that. Shame on you. But there are other ways to tell, like looking at the temporal bone and the mandible. Carnivores are hunters, so they need a lot of jaw power to kill their dinner. If you compare our temporal bone to a lion's temporal bone, notice how much deeper it is on a lion's skull. All that space is for the temporalis muscle, which is responsible for closing the jaw. Some carnivores even have this like little mohawk bone on the top of their skull, and that is to really anchor in that temporalis muscle. Next is the jaw or the mandible. The jaw of a carnivore is small, but that's so their jaws can really snap up nice and quick, like think crocodile or what's that, alligator. Herbivores, on the other hand, have a small temporal bone but a huge mandible that acts as a platform where all that chewing and grinding on that fibery greenness. Their teeth have cusps, and they look like they need flossing. Like, what do you do? This is a real question to have. Like, what do? You have no opposable thumb, and you have a piece of bok choy stuck in your teeth. What do you do? Anyways, thank you for watching. You're probably wondering why this is so abrupt. It's because I did this last minute. So enjoy waiting for part 2 when we talk about speed and power and other stuff, which you don't need because it's going to be after the bone room trip. Oops.